I've got a couple crafty kids in my family. Do you have any? Today, let's talk about some great ideas for indoor activities for the crafty kids. Hello everyone, welcome back. And if you are new here, I'm so glad to meet you. My name is Ashley and I've been homeschooling my kids since 2013. I'm a curriculum researcher junkie and buyer, and I like to share about Charlotte Masson inspired homeschool, affordable homeschool, and biblically based homeschool here on my channel. So I like to get fresh ideas for indoor activities for my kids, especially during the winter months or any time where we just need to be indoors often. And if you are a Charlotte Masson follower, then you know that she talks about handicrafts. And often when you hear that word, it can sound a little intimidating because you think, what is a modern handicraft? Plus, I know these can be good activities for your kids to do quietly, either for while you're reading your read aloud to them, or in the afternoon when they need some quiet time. First, before I give you specific activities our family likes, I want to give you 3 quick tips for being able to do these activities affordably and not too messy. So the first quick tip is to look at what you already have. You don't have to just go start searching on Amazon or go to Walmart and go to the craft supply store. You can just look at what you already have. So do you have paper? Do you have pens? Do you have markers? Do you have construction paper? Do you have scissors? Do you have glue? Googly eyes? I don't know, whatever you have. Just get those out, set them in a place where the kids can access it and where they know where it belongs, and set it in a place that they know where they can put it away when they're done. But here are a few things that I recommend that you have on supply for your crafty kiddos. And you can go to the dollar store to go get these things if you do need to pick up some. So yes, paper is a must. Construction paper. Googly eyes are fun. Scissors and glue are also good. You can use regular glue or glue sticks. Markers or crayons, depending on the age of your kids. Colored pencils and paints. Yes, paints, I know they sound scary. They're not that bad. If you want to try something new, I recommend chalk pastels. These are fun. They're a teeny bit messy, but it really is not that hard to clean up if you keep it all in one spot. My crafty kiddos really love using that. All right, quick tip 2 for doing your indoor crafty activities is to start saving things that you have around the house. The best ones for this is cardboard boxes. Anybody ordering things online right now? Cardboard boxes, save them. Number 2 is toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls. Yes, save those too. The other things you can save are Kleenex boxes. You can make a few things with the Kleenex boxes. I know, sounds strange, but my kids come up with things with the Kleenex box. All right, then the quick tip 3, to make it a little bit less messy. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be messy, but less messy, and for quick cleanup, here are a few of my favorite tips for that. Number 1, designate a specific place for these crafts, a specific area. Make sure it's not all over the house, and preferably somewhere where you're not over carpet. Underneath their activities, you can lay down some newspaper or some paper plates are often good, or you can even get trays, or sometimes I use cookie sheets. So that's an easy containment spot so they know where to keep their activity in. Then make sure you explain to your kids that they will help clean up once they are done. Usually if everybody pitches in, it gets done pretty quickly and it's not too bad. There will be cleanup at the end, I guarantee, but just remind your kids that they get to help. And if they know that from the beginning, then they won't, throw a fit when you do get the end of your activity and you've been the one cleaning it up the whole time. Because mama, you don't have to be the one to clean it up the whole time. I know you need to put a little effort into it. I get it. But you can train your kids to help put things away once they're done. And then if you do want to protect their clothing, if they're going to be using glue or paints, you can give them an old t-shirt from dad or mom for them to wear over their clothes, or an apron. Aprons are sometimes fun. We actually stopped using those several years ago, but I really do recommend them for ages 5 and under for easy cleanup for their clothes and their body. Yeah, their body. All right, now that you have your setup ready to go, you have your spot of where your craft supplies go, now we can talk about the activities they can do with those crafty supplies. First one is cardboard extravaganza. Just give your kids a cardboard box, help them cut it into shapes that they want, get an X-Acto knife, and it depends on how old your kids are. I do let my older kids cut cardboard boxes themselves, not until they're about 8 years old though. If they want it cut in certain shapes, you can help them with that. And then they can just go to town and build what they want to build. The sky is the limit. My kids have built rocket ships. They've built pirate ships, robots, costumes, masks. I even let my kids use a hot glue gun. And let me tell you, cardboard boxes and a hot glue gun just make for happy kids. You do need to train your kids on it, on where they can use the hot glue gun, or if you only want to allow yourself to do it, that's fine too. But I've trained my kids, they know what the right etiquette for a hot glue gun is, and they've made some really, really cool things with the cardboard. Two things that my kids really impressed me with this activity, they created a cardboard PlayStation and VR set. So they made a giant TV with a piece of cardboard. They made a PlayStation headset that goes on your head. They made little controllers to go with it. It was pretty fascinating. The other thing my daughter made was cardboard trees for when she plays in the forest, or she's done a few acting out things here and there, and she made some cardboard trees. So I thought that was really cool. All right, activity number 2 is good old-fashioned drawing. Not fancy. We have a lot of drawers in our family. We have sketchbooks. We have sketchbooks all throughout the house. The kids get sketchbooks all the time, and they just fill them up. Or even just some cheap notebooks from the dollar store would work as well. I'm gonna link to all our favorite drawing resources in the description below, but good drawing, how to draw books are handy to have at home. We like to use the Art for Kids Hub YouTube channel, and they have drawing tutorials on there, and that is really fun. You just turn it on and let the kids follow the tutorials and just learn to draw cute cartoon type stuff. More fun than just handing them a pencil or like colored pencils and crayons. Every once in a while they get a treat and they get to use the Sharpies. As far as some of our other favorite books and tutorials, we like the Ed Emberley drawing books and Dogman. Have any of your kids read Dogman? He has tutorials in the back on how to draw the characters, and my kids really love those. Speaking of Dogman, I recommend doing comic book writing and drawing. If you have a drawer, you can get them the books that are the blank comic books where it has the squares and the little cutouts and stuff like that, so they can use that. My kids actually prefer the one that doesn't have any of the fancy shapes on it, where it's just blank rectangles, or they even just make their own. they just draw their own rectangles, draw their own characters and their own dialogue, and they have a lot of fun with creating their own comics. Along with drawing, the next activity we like to do is watercolors. I just picked up these books. We have Watercolor With Me series. This is in the ocean. It goes along with our science unit, which is a bonus. We also have In the Woods. It's got watercolor papers, so the kids can watercolor and learn how to do it right here directly in the book, or they can just do it on plain copy printer paper, if whatever it needs to be, on a sketchbook. It doesn't have to be fancy paper, but it is a lot of fun to do. I actually have enjoyed doing watercolors with my kids, so it's been a really neat activity we've been able to do together recently. The next one for crafty kids is going to be the chalk pastel art, and this is very similar to watercolors and drawing, but it's just a little bit different texture and just a little newer activity if you haven't tried it yet. I really recommend it. Our favorite resource for this is You're an Artist at chalkpastel.com. Her name is Nana. She's an older lady who does chalk lessons. She has an awesome resource there. She does have a few free options on YouTube, but she has a few paid options as well that gives you tutorials on how to draw certain things for the season or to go along with your history and science units. Really, really great resource if you haven't tried her out yet. Okay, the next 3 things, maybe a little bit more common. Origami. Yes, origami. My daughter loves to do this. She is constantly getting books from the library. I'll link to a few in the description below. You can find at the library, or you can get for your own at home. You can order a pack of origami paper. They're not They're not very expensive and they last forever because they come in like 200 sheets. Or you can just use plain old paper as well and cut it down to the right size. There is a learning curve with this, so younger kids might have a little trouble at first trying to figure out the folds, but especially as they get older and their fine motor skills improve, they can be able to do a lot more difficult things like flowers or animals, all kinds of different things with it. And I thought that was a really neat handicraft for my daughter to learn. And then there's the Parlor Beads, or is it Parlor Beads? Parlor Beads is what I wrote down. Those are really fun, and I was really nervous about it at first. I got a tiny kit to make some from Target, and my 5-year-old actually really loved this activity, so he loved putting the beads on, and then mommy just needed to take a few minutes, and it's really not that messy. If you keep it on a tray so things are not spilling everywhere, just keep the beads on a tray in their little container or a bowl even. And then it just took me a few minutes to iron it together for them. And that was just a great activity to do with my son. And then lastly, there's crochet. If your kids have not tried this yet, I recommend it. They can start with finger knitting, is what I've heard recommended from Charlotte Masson followers. My daughter did start with that, and then she's tried knitting and then crocheting now, and she's able to crochet little animals, and it's so cute. So I will recommend all our favorite books that we've used for crocheting in the description down below as well. And crochet is awesome because it is mobile, so they can do it in the vehicle when you're going somewhere. They can bring it to church and do it while they're listening to the sermon, or they can do it during read-alouds and or at night when you're watching a movie. Like it's really mobile, and it is something that they can make useful things with, and a craft that will grow with them for a long time. And I recommend this not just for girls. I know girls often enjoy it, but some boys can learn how to do it as well. And my 8-year-old son has been trying to learn how to do it as well. And that's it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about what I mentioned here, or if you have any ideas for good indoor activities for the crafty kids. Also, if you missed my video for activities for the active kids, my favorite indoor activities for active kids, I'll link to that below as well. You gotta check that one out. Also, I have some more lists coming. I have indoor activities for the techie kid, and I have the indoor activities for the, I'm gonna call it science loving, or the STEM kid. I don't know what I'll call it yet, but basically STEM, building, engineering activities for those, for indoor activities for them as well. Thanks so much for watching. You rock at homeschooling, and as always, go find your joy in the noise. I'll see you next time.